What were your first thoughts when you were laid off this January?
I wasn't really too concerned. I felt that my past experience with industry around the city, a number of friends that I have in the city would get me a job within 30 days. But it didn't work out that way.
What happened? How did you go about looking for a job, and what did you find?
Well, the first thing I did was register with the Texas Employment Commission and make myself available through their services, and also avail myself of the offers they make in finding jobs using their job banks. I checked through the newspapers into the various individual ads and also through the agency ads. I registered with something like 12 to 15 agencies, and none of these have done me one iota of good. The Texas Employment Commission did nothing for me either, in that nothing I found there was suitable. The majority of the current employers are insisting upon degrees.
Even though there are a number of people like you who spent many years in the aerospace business and working in an engineering capacity who don't have college degrees, who have a good bit of experience, you're finding the degree is a barrier.
Yes, and it's understandable why. Because when a company goes to sell itself to a prospective employer, as for instance LTV to the government, or a commercial industry to some other service, the basic thing they sell is people, and the only way they can sell them is by their paper qualifications.
Did you take any part-time jobs?
Only as an independent photographer. That was an avocation which I had followed for a number of years, commercial type photography, and I did do some photography for pay during this period.
Has your wife ever had to take a job during this period?
Well, I was given my layoff notice on Friday, and on Monday she went to work at the taxi company in the same Irving Mall. She has subsequently left their employment, but she did work all during the period when I was looking.
Did you ever consider leaving the Dallas-Fort Worth area, looking for a job in another part of the state or even another state?
Yes, I put out resumes all over the country. Nearly always to aerospace industries, but to any other private sector that I knew of that was needing help. And yes, I would go if the opportunity presented itself for a job that I just flat could not turn down, and no matter what the circumstances. I have no roots in Texas. I've lived here 20 years, yes, but I'm not a native of the area. I enjoy it, but there are other parts of the country that could be just as attractive to me.
What about other people that you knew who had similar type things happen to them? People you worked with at LTV. How did it affect their lives?
Well, unfortunately, some of them have even gone through divorces because it was such a psychological shock to them and the family.
You have subsequently found a job. You're working at Penny's store here in Arlington?
No, it's in Irving.
In Irving?
The new Irving Mall.
What type of work do you do for them?
I am operating as a salesman in their camera department and being trained to assume the direction of that department.
Now, you don't make, what is your current income in this job as compared with what you were earning in your engineering job?
It's less than half.
Would you go back into the aerospace business given the insecurity of it if you had the opportunity?
I seriously would question it, yes, whether I would or not. One reason is, of course, economically it looks always attractive, and the projected outlook is that it will always last, but experience tells us it won't. However, I have to look back on my experience and say that I survived 18 straight years through a number of layoffs and say that it was good to me. I would look at an offer very carefully, and there's always a possibility I'd go back, but there is a strong likelihood that I wouldn't.